I want you to breathe. I want you to breathe. I want you to breathe.
What's up, friends? We're back. We're Black and Curious. I'm Kandron.
And now it is Dehjai. Welcome back.
Back with another episode. If you've never been here before, welcome. We do a cross section of pop culture and real life. Deja has our topic for the day.
Yes. Brought to us by way of our fave, Demetria Lucas.
Absolutely.
So if you guys actually listen to her podcast, this most recent episode, I think it's when she's landed in Ghana, she kind of had made mention to like what life is going to be like if she has like a 5-year visa to live in Ghana. She's kind of moved there, not kind of, she's just recently moved there to be there full time. And she was speaking about like, you know, if you've ever had like a medical emergency or some sort of catalytic event that's blown up your life, or that you blew up your life in some sort of way, the recovery process is so different. And so like as she's done this podcast, she's kind of taken us through the twists and the turns of her trying to find like that smooth, you know, road out of the Rocky Mountain range, basically. And it got me to thinking about like the experiences that Kendra and I are having currently. I, for one, personally feel like I am still in that the rocky terrain. Like I'm not at a place where things have smoothed out, but because of like I've mentioned several times over at this point, I feel like I'm like beating a dead horse. Having had my own medical emergencies that did, so to speak, blow up my life. I feel like I'm more aware and more cognizant of what, like all the things that weren't working and that were taking away from me and that were continuing to lead me into a place of distraction from myself than I have ever been in my entire life. And I say that because like American culture in general, my personal belief is that American culture is designed to take the individual away from themselves and give to, you know, whatever else there is. So be it give to a job, give to a relationship, give to an organization. Like there are so many things that we do within American culture and American life that basically kind of like separates you from your individual self, even though it is the basis that like Americans are very individualistic. It's very interesting. It's a weird experience.
Well, I think it's
when you think about
honestly, I think it's a few layers deep because you have to divorce the individual from the community, which I think sometimes is necessary. Like I left home. I think everybody should leave home, even if it's only for a little while, just to like kind of know yourself and know yourself without influence and who you would become if you only had yourself.
Yeah.
But it's the divorcing the individual from the community and then the individual from themselves in the advancement of like capitalism and like having more and materialism and all of that stuff. So I think it's kind of like two steps. But yeah, I think blowing up your life is it's interesting. First of all, I'm ready to do so right now. And in a lot of ways, I'm probably going to. I'm not sure that I'm going to do it abruptly as I've done before. But I'm definitely going to. And we talked a lot about that in our last conversation. Not sure where that's going to go in terms of sequence, how we're going to post these. But we talked a lot about that and how I'm like, is a job with benefits that important when you can get benefits on your own?
Girl, I'm saying like those are things that you really be thinking about. And then like, sorry to cut you off, but the other thing that I've been like tossing around in my mind is like, okay, so I have hemiplegic migraines, but they are brought on, or not, I've been diagnosed. I keep changing this language because we're not going to continue this diagnosis. But I've been diagnosed with hemiplegic migraines that are exacerbated and or brought on by undue stress. And my migraines in general have always been brought on by stress. And so it's like, okay, if I remove myself from a stressful environment, then I'm fine. And this has happened inadvertently. Like when the pandemic started in 2020, like all of a sudden our spaces all shut down and then we were all working from home. And because I was at home, I lost like 20 pounds. As soon as I went back, gained that 20 pounds back, which is why I look like the Jigglypuff I look like now. Like, so it's just kind of like, there's something to this. Like, I really need to, and what I've been doing is trying to figure out how to do the things that I enjoy wise in terms of like ways to make money for myself that won't bring me back to a place of undue stress. Like if these are things that I have chosen for myself, like I feel like this was last year sometime, I spoke about the belief that I have that if I have not obligated myself to do certain things, then like I'm not taking on anyone else's obligations.
Yeah.
Like that's where we have, like pitfalls and like drama. We do that shit every day because of the jobs that we have.
Yeah, definitely. I think, it's funny because it's like when you blow up your life, like I've blown up my life once very intentionally because I wanted more and I felt like I could have more. Actually, every time I've blown up my life is because I thought I could have more, which is interesting. But yeah, I think leaving home, moving to Atlanta was like a huge moment of blowing up my life. Because home was safe, like my entire family is there, everybody's there. I could have just probably followed my family members, my mom probably into like a government job and just kind of done the thing. And maybe now this version of me probably would have been happy to have a government job, but I don't think I ever would have been happy if I had never left home and just done the thing.
Experience life.
And it was really hard. It was really hard. It didn't work out as it should have. Well, as I thought it was going to work out. Obviously, I was also much younger and a complete idiot.
Child, it never does. I did a thing on TikTok the other day about how like the kids that are 10 years younger, and I'm calling y'all kids, I don't really mean your kids, but to me, I'm 10 years older than you. You's a itty bitty baby. But like at that age, 29, between 28 and like 31, people really thinking that you're supposed to have all this shit figured out. And that if you don't, that you are slipping and that your life is in shambles. Like, baby, no girl.
I think I fell into that too, but yeah, when I lived in Atlanta, I worked 2 jobs until I found something. My mom had to help me because I was very stressed out and the things I lined up did not pan out. So it was just stressful, but it was also the best time of my life, and also the time where I felt I was completely like, when I accomplished that and like it felt like I was finally secure in that, it was the best feeling ever. And I similarly blew up my life to move to Miami, but I don't ever feel, I mean, I take that back. I had moments, especially early in my time in Miami, where I felt like I could just conquer anything. And it was amazing. I think I have overstayed my time in Miami. I think that is the problem here.
Miami is so beautiful. Listen, that's my
is.
vacation spot, y'all.
It is. And hopefully it'll continue to be my vacation spot as well. But, it just...
But I understand.
It's not giving. But yeah, just the blowing up of the light. It's really hard though. It really is hard. It's a hard decision to make, and it's also hard, especially those first like year or so, I think.
Trying to figure stuff out, yeah.
Trying to figure stuff out, trying to find a community. It's really hard. If that's important to you, everybody, it's not important to everybody, but if that's important to you, it's really hard. So
I think too that like in the instance, because one of the examples that she used was like the unexpected blowing up of it all. And like what it made me think of is like the things that you learn in that process. Like I wouldn't say that my outlook is so drastically different than in April of 2021 when I had the first initial stint in the hospital, or long stint, because technically I had one in 2020. We just didn't know what it was. But like that, having had that experience to me, which is what I call my near-death experience, I thought I was dying. Okay. Like being on the other side of that, I do think differently. And I think that like as someone, I'm a tactile learner, like experience has always been the best teacher for me. And in a lot of ways, like a lot of our elders will say that like experience teaches you more about life and about yourself than
Just keep on living.
anything.
My grandma says that, like,
Well, my mother does too.
I feel like, especially like Southern Black elders, they say stuff like that. You be like, girl, if you don't sit down, but then you like get into your 30s and you like, girl, just keep on living. Like you go through some stuff and you be like, just keep on living. It just turns into a mantra.
Okay, like, whoo, I made it through that one. Okay, what's all right then? What's next on the horizon? Something good, I hope. Shit. But yeah, like I think the biggest thing that came out of the unintentional blowing up of my life is that I started making decisions that were for me and not for everybody else. Like,
I think that's the most important thing to come out of of blowing up your life. It's if not for that purpose, then what other purpose?
Girl.
Like, if it's for everyone else, you can just continue life status quo, like as it is. If you're not gonna blow it up for you, then why would you blow it up?
And the other thing too is like also having understanding that sometimes, like I was saying before, sometimes the explosion is not your choice, but it's what you need. And having coming to some sort of acceptance of, I did not choose this, but this is what chose me, and that what I needed to move differently in the world, or to get to what it is that I actually desire. Like, what is the best thing that for me that is like God-given and not necessarily like a choice that I made for myself. Like, and I'm not the most like religious person, like Kandron, and those of you who actually know me know that I am more spiritual than anything else, but I do have a deep belief that sometimes the things that we choose for ourselves are like the worst possible case.
For sure.
And you end up in it like, this is not what I wanted. Like, this is not it at all. So like, how do I get what it is that I actually want? And then even still, like, I don't even know what I want anymore, because this is what I thought I wanted, and then this shit didn't work out.
That's the one right there. That's the one right there. That's the one. So
sorry, y'all, I'm trying not to cough on the microphone because I cannot find my cough drops. But yeah,
I think I'm a little bit more gun shy about like blowing up my life the way I've done it in the past. But maybe not for long.
Like, I have the only intentional that I could say, the only intentional blowing up that I've done was a few years ago when I was like, you know what, I cannot do this retail shit anymore. I'm about to go quit my job. And I did not have another job to go to and did not work full time for like 6 months. So it was a struggle, but I made it through. And like, I landed within a great opportunity, which is the, you know, what I've been doing for the last couple of years. But now I'm at another, I feel like I'm at a graduation point where I'm like, I've got my all the credits and things that I need to have. I can't hear you. I think your mic is mute.
I don't know. I said it. Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I said I love that language, a graduation point.
Yeah, like I feel like, you know, you get to like, this more so feels like college graduation, because college, child, when you are undergrad and you trying to get through and you get to them last couple of months, that I feel like for some of us, it'll drag the soul out of you, okay? Depending on what you were studying and how much you have gone through trying to get to the end. Them last couple of months be ridiculous. And so like for me, I feel like, you know, I've got all the credits and the points and the things that I need to have, but I don't have no cap and gown. Like, I'm graduating. I am in the and you know what's funny that I use this metaphor. I actually had a dream about this a couple of months ago, where like one of my spirits, or like the people, my loved ones who watch over me, was basically like, girl, you did it. You done did all the work. We so proud of you. But like, I didn't have no cap and gown, so I felt like I wasn't ready to graduate. And so it was like this huge ordeal in the dream where which is a Dehjai thing. I always feel like I have to have something else to be prepared. And it's like, girl, you done did all this work. You're prepared. Just like, keep going. Keep on living, baby.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's interesting. And I'm definitely going to keep, I need to listen to that episode. I'm usually like right on it with the episodes, but I haven't really been out and about to listen to the weekend episode yet. So I'm curious
Yeah.
to see. Full disclosure, Demetria is like, I've been following her for over a decade now, and this jaunt that she's doing in Ghana is fascinating to me. It is fascinating to me. She is actually, her trips to Ghana is what inspired me to want to like really go and like book the trip and do the thing. So I'm excited to watch this unfold.
Hello, because I'm like, they now, she mentioned on this particular episode that her and her friend have started to set up trips for the next year and the
Yeah.
following year. And so I'm like, maybe like once I figure all the other stuff out that I've got going on, maybe I can go and do one of those.
Yeah.
Because I do want to go, but it always just seems like so far-fetched because I am breaking generational beliefs.
Yes.
And so like I am having a time, okay? I am not gonna lie to you, but I'm gonna make it through. Like I said, I'm at the point where I'm at graduation. We ain't got no cap and gown, but we're gonna make it. We're gonna walk across the stage. I'm just gonna have to be in the fanciest little outfit that I can find.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So anyway, just wanted to leave you guys with this little nugget. Please, by all means, drop down in the comments and let us know what your experiences have been. What kind of explosions have you had in your life, both induced and unexpected?
Yes.
And how you made it through. And please, let us know if you listen to Demetria, because girl, we are Demetria stands over here.
Hive over here. We hive.
Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Check out blackandcurious.com and follow us on all of our social media. And we'll see you next time. Bye.